But what I will say matters to me the most is the shit I don't care about anymore. And I wanted to share a few because it has been such an enlightening experience. The first thing I no longer care about, being a loner. For the longest time, I have dubbed myself the extrovert, the cool girl, the gal you want to take out to a function, to a party, the life of the party, just energy on 10, always down for a good time, being around loads of people, being seen in every event, having a bunch of acquaintances and friends. And that was my life for a while. I mean, my summers in New York City used to be epic, used to be a movie, used to be like just the light of my life. Truly, from Wednesday to Sunday, I was always doing something. And even in my earlier 20s, even in the winter, which I'm not a winter person at all, I hate the cold, but even back then, you couldn't keep me down. I was going to go out, rain, sleet, sun, whatever, I was going to find my way to a function. But now I'm realizing that's not really who I am. Like, I have worn so many masks to try to be to try to be palatable to people, to try to fit in, to try to blend. Just your recovering people pleaser. And the older I get, the more I return back to myself, back to my true nature, back to who I've always been. And that person is someone who enjoys their own company, who enjoys solitude, who enjoys the comforts of their home, who is a creature of habit, who would rather spend a Saturday night reading a book or watching their favorite fantasy TV show versus be around a bunch of people. I am an ambivert, I guess I'd say. I get energized by connections and being out in community, but I also get deep satisfaction and deep energy replenishment from being alone and being in solitude and spending time by myself. That's where I'm able to clear my head. That's where I'm able to get a grasp on my thoughts. That's where I'm able to get a lot of clarity on what I want to do, what I don't want to do, and just a lot of time for reflection and growth. I get that a lot when I am alone, and it's really hard to do that when I'm around a bunch of people. So having that time to decompress, to kind of separate other people's energies and emotions and thoughts from my own and just sit in my own space is so therapeutic for me, and has been for a while, but I just don't think I was able to realize it because I was so focused on everybody else and being a part of the scene and being a part of my friend groups and just blending and being a part of the tribe, that I lost myself to that, and I had put on a lot of masks so that I could blend in. And now I'm finally taking those masks off and understanding who I am at my core. I also have human design to thank for that, because my sun gate is gate 33. It is the gate of privacy. It is all about taking that time of retreat and reflection to gain deep wisdom and knowledge. People with a gate 33 in their charts tend to seek solitude as a way of gaining clarity, as a way of moving forward. They look to memories and past experiences to help guide them in the future and to help guide others. So it is so pivotal for me to spend loads of time alone. That gate 33 sun, which makes up 70% of my chart, meaning that it's like a huge placement in my chart, and it's a huge guiding light to fulfilling my soul's purpose, which is different than career and business and all of that. It's really what your soul came here to experience and learn. A lot of that is through the lens of gate 33. And it means that I require a lot of time and space and solitude. I also have 6 undefined centers and 1 completely open center. So I have 7 spaces of openness in my chart, which means I take on a lot from the outside world and amplify it, and may often mistake it as my own. So I need that time of solitude to kind of sift through what is not mine and gain clarity on what is. And for a long time, I thought that was weird, and it's not. It's just who I am, and I embrace that. Oh, the other thing that I no longer care about is weird. The word weird. It used to be a 4-letter word to me. It used to be a curse word. It used to be super negative. Like, I'm not weird. Weird is bad. No, weird is so cool. I love being weird. I'm fucking weird. I'm unique. I'm different. I'm quirky. I'm an oddball. I'm corny. I'm goofy. I'm silly. I'm all those things. And I embrace it. And I accept it. I am weird. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. And it's not a bad thing. It's what makes me unique. It's what makes me different. And who wants to be like everyone else? We came here as our unique selves. We were designed very uniquely, with unique gifts, with special talents. So why would I not want to embrace that? And it's only weird because it's different. I really truly think that. But I feel like we're moving into a space collectively where we want to move away from being this like homogenized group of people when it comes to our identities. We might be homogenized when it comes to like our value systems and our morals, but in terms of like who we are as individuals, we want to move away from trying to be exactly like everyone else and being these carbon copies. And I really feel this focus on being differentiated, being individuals, being unique, and finding common threads amongst that bridge us together, that bring us together, that make us connect and create community. So in doing so, I want to embrace being weird and my weirdness and lean into it more. Like, I have been getting really deep into gaming, which I used to be very embarrassed about, but I'm a gamer. I always have been, and it's cool, and I enjoy it, and it makes me happy, and I'm starting to resonate with more people who also love gaming, and it also makes them happy. So it's really not weird, and I'm so happy that I can like let that part go and start to embrace the goodness around that word. Like, oh, you're so weird needs to be a term of endearment, and I see it as such. The next thing I no longer care about is holding on to relationships just because there's history. I used to be of the frame of mind that, oh my gosh, I've known that person for 10 years. So like, they're always going to be a part of my life. We've been through so many things together. Like, I know them, they know me. I no longer believe that. We change every single day. Every single day we are changing and we are evolving. And sometimes that is together. Like, I see life as like this highway with multiple lanes, and you're all driving down the lane, and some people are going to get off an exit earlier, some people are going to get off an exit later, but essentially we're all going in that general direction. But as people start to get off on the exits, you got to let them go. They're going on their own path, they're going on their own way, and you're still continuing straight, or maybe you're taking another exit just a couple of miles down. The point is that we travel this road of life with people, but it's not a forever thing. Some people will get off and get on later, and some people will get off and you'll never see them again. And I used to feel like because we had spent so much time together and had so much history, we'd been on those roads for so long, that it was inevitable that we were just going to be linked. But as I begin to come back to myself more and more, I'm realizing that a lot of the relationships I had created earlier on in life were really based on a person that I no longer am. And my connection to that person during that time was so beautiful. But now we're essentially two different people, and we can't really relate in the same ways. There is no love lost. I still care deeply for those people. I still want the best for them. I still want them to be successful. I want them to be happy. I want them to have all the goodness that they desire, because they deserve it. But it doesn't mean that I have to be a part of their lives or be a part of their lives in the way in which I used to be. And it's okay. And I accept that now. I think, that undefined spleen in me wants to hold on to things forever and doesn't really know when is the right time to let go, and can often hold on to things that are unhealthy for me, way past their expiration date. And I see it now. I see a lot of the friendships that I developed earlier on in my life are no longer serving me, and I really have worked hard to encourage myself to not put a negative framing around that, because it has nothing to do with them or me. Like, we're not bad people, we're just different. And maybe we always have been, but back then it was, life was simpler and you didn't have all the things to worry about. And back then there was a lot more conforming and there was a lot more homogeny. One perspective. The other perspective is just like, we're grown, and in our growth we grew apart, and it's okay. Nothing is forever. And I'm a third line. I'm all about the making and the breaking of bonds. I'm all about making connections and breaking connections. And sometimes I reconnect with those former connections, and sometimes, it was what it was during that period and I can let it go. The next thing, which is kind of my favorite thing right now, is the fact that I'm so into slow living. If you would ask me 5 years ago, I'd be like, no, I love a fast-paced environment. I live in New York City. I love the hustle. I love moving fast. I love going a million miles a minute. I love being super productive. I love using every ounce of my time to get shit done. No, it's a lie. It's a lie. I absolutely love taking my time. I love not feeling in a rush. Like, even as I said that, like, my body just like relaxed. I love it. I really do. I love slow mornings. I love slow evenings. I love a day of aimlessness. I love really tuning into my body and really listening to her and allowing her to guide me, and not feeling like I'm in a rush or under pressure to get things done. Just really allowing the time and the space necessary to do every task. For example, last week I was cleaning my bathroom and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this done in 45 minutes and I'm going to be in and out and da, 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 da. And it literally took me an hour and a half. And somebody might say like, oh my God, it took you an hour and a half to clean your bathroom. It's not a huge bathroom. It's like a medium-sized bathroom, maybe even on the small side. But it took me that long because I wasn't in a rush. I was listening to a podcast. I was very methodically taking things out, reorganizing them, getting in the grout. Like, I was really cleaning. And what would have been like 45 minutes of like, oh my God, in and out, lickety spit, just, like a basic clean, turned into like a really deep therapeutic cleaning. And by taking my time, it was so relaxing. What would have stressed me out normally, because I would be on a time crunch and I would have had 30 other things following that up, was so nourishing because I just got to mindlessly clean my bathroom. I got to really take my time. I got to listen to my favorite podcast. I got to organize and alphabetize and color code the stuff in my bathroom, and it brought me so much joy. And it was the major thing I focused on that day, and it was very nourishing. And I got to be with my thoughts. I got to learn. It was just exactly what it needed to be because I allowed myself to take that time. And it's allowed my nervous system to relax. My thoughts are clearer. I have better sleep, all because I do not force myself to get a million things done. And then going back to human design, because clearly it's been extremely influential in my life, I am a projector. I do not have a sacral. I do not have consistent access to life force energy. So the life force energy access, or the energy access that I have, can be fleeting. It's very precious. I would rather say it's super precious. And so I have to be very conscientious about what I use it towards and how I'm using it, the frequency at which I'm using it. And I used to just deplete myself all willy-nilly because I felt this pressure, and relieving that pressure has allowed for so much more grace. And as a result, I am much more relaxed. And it's beautiful. The other thing that kind of goes into slow living, or maybe not, but it's another thing I don't care for anymore, I don't focus on, don't give a shit about, is trends. Specifically, fashion and beauty. I have become an overconsumption person. I have a zillion pairs of sneakers, a zillion pairs of heels, sandals, the number of, I used to work in corporate beauty, specifically for Estee Lauder for many years. And naturally, I accumulated a lot of beauty products. At one point, I had like 5 different foundations, 12 different concealers, and I'm not exaggerating. This is not an exaggeration. These are actual numbers. 20 different blushes, 50 nail polishes, 40 lipsticks. I mean, I used to have like my whole dresser was filled with those acrylic organizers for beauty products. They're just filled to the brim. Filled to the brim. And that was just the organizers. Then I had my bathroom medicine cabinet was filled. My under the sink cabinets were filled. Just makeup, fragrances, skincare, everywhere. I wanted to try everything. I came up in the 2000s YouTube beauty era, and I just wanted to try everything. I transitioned to natural, so I wanted to try every curly hair product you could have ever imagined. I just had a surplus of stuff, and I never got through them. I never hit pan. I was giving things away, which was lovely, because I always had, like, that time I always had a product to give a friend. I always had a gift on hand. But it just was such a waste in a way that I can't even fully express. Like, at one point I was just looking at it and I was like, wow, I have so many products that I'm never going to touch, that I'm never going to use. And why? Because of that instant satisfaction and gratification and validation of having those products and having the hottest, newest, latest, greatest. No, not to mention now I'm in a clean beauty era, and there's so many of those products that are just not good for you. They're not good for your skin. They're not good for your health. They have horrible ingredients. They test on animals, just like the gamut. And I have since completely downsized, completely wiped the slate clean, and I feel so much better. And I am now moving into doing that with my clothes, because guilty, I used to be like, oh, we're going on a trip, let me make this Fashion Nova purchase for like 20 new outfits, like everything's going to be on sale, not realizing that these garments are not of quality. With one wash, they're falling apart. Their ingredients, the fabric content is plastics and just not sustainable fabrics whatsoever. These things are going into landfills. They can't break down in our environment. I mean, not to mention, that's just one facet of it. Not to mention that I have a dresser that has 6 drawers. I have 3 of them. I have this side table where I use these bottom 2 drawers for clothes. And then this entire side of my closet is clothes. Under the bed is shoes. Under the couch is shoes. I mean, the closet floor is shoes. There's just so much stuff. But the kicker is I wear 30% of my wardrobe. 70% of the things I own I don't even wear. It is unfathomable to me that I've gotten to this point. But I'm ready to burn it all down. I'm really focused on sustainable fashion, good quality ingredients, and really rediscovering, I should say, my unique style. And I might be doing a video on like this whole deep dive of how I've come to the conclusion of my style, like what silhouettes look best on me, what fabrics, what patterns, and the whole kind of system I'm creating for myself, so that I can get more clear on that, so I can really start to only purchase items that are reflective of that. Because this is how I got into this issue. I was so focused on like what was viral on TikTok, getting something cute for a trip or a concert or an outing. Next thing you know, I have all these things that don't really match. They can't really go together. They're only good for that one outfit, but how many times am I going to wear that one outfit? So I'm starting to notice those trends and those patterns with myself. And so I'm dialing it back. I really want to simplify and minimalize my life. Just really simple, slow living. I want to open up my closet, and I want to be so excited because there's so many ways that I compare the items that I've got. Like that's kind of what I want to live. And I feel like it's going to boost my self-esteem, boost my confidence, help me fall deeper in love with my body, because I will always have things that I feel confident and beautiful in. They will last the test of time, so I don't have to constantly replenish, and everything will really work together so I can create endless outfits. Like, that is the dream. And the more I'm starting to be like, I don't care about what's trending, I don't care about what's hot, I don't care about the hottest brands and colors and styles and this and that. I'm doing me. I'm doing what works for me, what looks good on me, what makes me confident, what's reflective of my personality. Because, like, this is our avatar and we should be able to adorn it. It's an act of self-expression, which is huge for self-love. How we get to present ourselves to the world is a huge reflection of how we love and care for ourselves. And I want to be really intentional with how I do that. So stay tuned for more on that. And lastly, I don't give an F about milestones. I'm 35. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I don't own a house. I don't even own a car. I'm navigating career shifts and changes. I have not hit any of the milestones I thought I would by this point, and I don't care. I don't care. Like, I do not give a bleepity bleep bleep bleep. I don't care, because at the end of the day, I'm happy. I think my 25-year-old self would probably be passing out right now at the thought that I haven't hit any of those milestones, because we definitely thought we would have by now. But the present moment me feels so relaxed and content, is not in a rush, trust the divine timing of everything, trust that if and when I am supposed to hit these milestones, I will. And I'm happy about it, and I feel good. I feel better than I ever have. I feel more confident and content and connected to who I am and what I desire. And that's enough for me. That's enough for me. And this whole, you should have done X, Y, and Z by such and such age is such bullshit. Like, let's really move into individualism, uniqueness, and just being different, living different life experiences and sharing it. And there's no shame to anybody who is 35 and is married, has kids, has a house, has a car, has a dream career, and is doing all the things. Like, more power to you, babe. Like, more power to you. But I'm just not one of those people, and I'm not going to beat myself up for it anymore. When I hit 30, it was super devastating, because I was like, oh my God, my life is over, and I haven't even completed any of the things that I thought I would, and like, what a failure. To now being like, wow, I've gotten to experience so many different things, and my life continues to unfold in the most beautiful ways, and I'm fucking lucky. I'm so lucky, and I'm blessed, and I'm going to be present in that state of gratitude, because I have so many things to be happy and grateful for, and I'm not going to allow a milestone to dictate that. But do I still desire those things? Of course. I am just not as attached to when and how and if they're going to happen. I'm trusting that everything will unfold exactly as it's meant to, and that when I look back, I will feel so fulfilled by the life that I lived, and that's the most important thing to me. What are some of the things that you don't give enough about anymore? What are some of the things that you're letting go? How are you stepping into 2025 and beyond? And what's really important for you? What is going to be like the pillars of your life? Yeah. Okay. Well, I love you mucho. Thanks for listening, watching, and until next time. Peace.